Before we start, let's say good morning, everyone. Mr. Minister, Mr. President, Mama. No, I just want to say, on behalf of the team, we honestly would like to say thank you to the people of South Africa. It's been a long and a tough 20 weeks that we've been together, but it's been 4 years that the coaching staff and management have been planning for this opportunity for us to win back-to-back World Cups. When they first came, they didn't think we would win 2019. They were focused on 2023. They said this is the year that the group can win because of the group that we have and how much more experience would be this time. And obviously things change, and we just got better and better in 2019, and we finally came through. And I must say, the support towards the end, and I also said it before, people were hopeful in 2019, maybe we'll win it, but this time we could feel like people expected us to win this World Cup. So the support and the videos, as Mr. President said, honestly, after trainings we would see, or after games we would see what's happening back at home, and that's why we made the decision that we've already won the World Cup in 2019. It's not about us as players anymore. What can we play? We always played for South Africa, but we wanted to make sure that this one is for the people of South Africa. This one is for every single person in South Africa, rich, poor, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter where you come from, because of the team that we have, which is very diverse team, which is very beautiful as well. We all come from different walks of life, different races, even though we come from different walks of life. We had a coaching staff who knew how to align us as a group, who knew how to put us together so we can focus on one thing. Even though I have my own goals or what I wanted to achieve myself personally, I'm playing for different reasons than what Eben is playing for and the Ox is playing for. But the common goal was the Springboks and the people of South Africa. So this trophy is also just for people who come from in tough circumstances in our area, in disadvantaged areas, in areas that are not well resourced. For the kid who sits in Sweden, who sits in Goodwood, who sits in Malmesbury, and for them to know, maybe things are tough for you. You can't afford school fees. You've got no shoes to walk to school. You've got no food at home. And people who come from rich homes too, who want to make something out of themselves, but the situation around them doesn't look hopeful enough for them or give them motivation to think that they'll get there. This is for you, because we come from those environments, we come from those backgrounds. Chesland, where you come from as well. We want to represent everyone because this team represents everyone, but we want, the most important thing, we want people to get reference points. We want people to see, how can I make it from this situation? Who has made it from where I come from? And you can look at this whole team. We all come from different areas and different backgrounds. And also, we've also got to learn that as a team, we knew our cultures are different. So that also brings a lot of differences amongst the group. So Coach Rassi and Jack, he started teaching us about minding each other, because I grew up singing Igwije. The Eastern Cape, it's a big thing, but we sing Igwije when we're happy, when we're sad, and obviously when the team is about to play, it always feels you connected, no matter what you're going through. When you sing with someone, it feels that they take that burden off you a little bit, that they carry it with you. And some like to listen to Afrikaans music, some out here like to listen to rock music, which is, it's very crazy music. And Coach Rassi told us this is who we are in South Africa. We are all different. And we do also reminded us about the past, the hurtful past that we've had. And some people have been here, some people are not over that. Some people are still going through it, and it's still passed through generations. And we speak about it amongst our team, that these things that we've spoken about, when you talk about transformation, squad depth, and all those kind of things, the team spoke honestly and said, Coach Jack and Rassi said, we are going to win, but we're going to be transforming while we're winning, because a lot of people didn't get this opportunity. So many people who fought for South Africa to change, who fought for me to be able to put on this jersey, weren't allowed to put on this jersey. So now we're going to make sure that this team transforms, and transform not by just putting people of color there. We train them, we make them good enough to be there so that when they do play there, they represent South Africa. And I do believe that everybody who's played in the team has been good enough. And that's the thing also, we need to learn to mind each other in our different cultures, not just in rugby but in community as well, in businesses, all that we do. You know, you can't just want to force your way because this is how you do things. Think about the next person next to you, and that's what we've learned. And Coach Rassi asked us, let's not keep it here in the team. Let's speak about it openly and honestly. We also want to see in Parliament, and we'll speak about serious stuff. How are we going to deal? How are people dealing with what happened in South Africa before? How is the next generation going to see the way forward? No, that's so important for us in South Africa, because I feel like a lot of things are spoken about, but the serious issues, because are too sensitive to speak about them in public. But we need to, because we need to learn. We need to know what's the way forward. How do we get better in South Africa? Because I know this win will inspire a lot of people, but it's not going to change how people are in circumstance. But for us as players, it's going to give us a platform that we can open more opportunities, like with our foundation, the works that we do around South Africa. So, yeah, we really hope this just doesn't end in a little bit of celebrations for a week, and it needs to do more. You know, it was really hard for us as a team. Think about it, 20 weeks, you're sitting with the same people the whole time. Somewhere, you struggle. You have to find, you start finding something you like about. Now I like Ian's new haircut now, you know, so but thank you again for everything. I must tell you, when we were in France, it was difficult because, you know, people are hurting there, that obviously the country that didn't win. And we sat in the hotel, we celebrated together, but it didn't feel like what it felt like here. Because the people that we did it for now show us exactly what it means in our country. And we are very sad that we can't go everywhere. And as Mr. President said, we have to go back, some of us, to our club. Some guys are leaving early, some guys can't do the whole trophy tour. But we do appreciate everyone. If we could, we honestly would go to all 9 provinces, because everybody deserves to see the trophy. But I do promise that they will get the full energy, the full attention of us while we're on that bus tour. We'll give it everything. We'll try and give back the support that you gave to us. So thank you, Siambulela. Bye, Danki.
Wow. That's fantastic, Sia. I just got 2 questions to the World Cup winning captain, Sia, and the World Cup winning coach, Jock. Please call them World Cup winners, because they are that.
Double.
Thank you. Sia, you mentioned culture, and you know the Springboks are a melting pot of diverse cultures. A very nice video surfaced the other day of you guys walking down the stairs, and Jesse was leading Igwijo. We saw the Gwijo squad carrying our voices to Paris, and that was you guys hearing us, honestly. But just talk to me about Felix Jones. He was singing Leo Gwijo, and I was like, an Irish man singing Igwijo. It's fantastic. How is it that you guys have just found each other so well in this melting pot? And then to you, Jock, Marvin Ori, he was the water boy. Just talk to me about the role he played. I mean, he always was there and on it, and I mean, he did brilliantly well from what we saw. Just give us your thoughts on that as well.
Marvin, the president.
He's the president.
He's the president of my players, so we call him president. When you talk about transformation, and you see Felix Jones singing Gwijo like that, and Jesse leading it, that's, people think that's how really it is in our team, you know, because some people just talking. And Felix, I give so much respect to him. He came from Ireland, first world country, 2019 when he first joined us, and obviously he doesn't understand what drives us, what makes South Africans. Came in, he brought in, and he saw how the rest of the world treat us. And then I remember after the last World Cup, and we had some time off, and I said, Felix, come to Sweden. I want you to see. That was after the trophy tour. Him and Alan Walters were with us then. They could not believe what they saw when we went, especially in the most disadvantaged areas. People found a way. They didn't have a Springbok jersey, they wore a green jersey. And some of the kids chase us for so many kilometers, sprinting, running, you know. And they said for them, the country doesn't happen like that. Maybe a few places that they go to, but not the whole of the country like that. Then Felix came to Sweden. I took him to Khalifa and Mafa, where I always go for braai. He sat with me, ate with me. I showed him where I slept at my house, you know, and showed him my school and showed him my friends. And to him it made sense why we have the drive that we have, you know, with the funding that we have compared to the other rugby teams in the world. For us to achieve what we achieve, I don't think we understand. But the spirit of South Africa, we don't make excuses. We look for opportunity to work as hard as we can. So he bought into that. And then the Guijo, he loves the music. I remember when we don't sing, when it got quiet after when we met this year, and you'd be like, what's going on? Like, why are you guys not singing anymore? You know, and then we started singing, and then obviously he learned the songs, and I sent some of the songs to him, but like, he would watch it, and now he knows the words fully. And that's what we talk about when we talk about transformation. It's not about numbers. It's about people actually, them changing from inside, you know, and understanding each other's culture and learning to mind each other. So yeah, that's what made it so special for us as a group. And then even ululating is just so beautiful. Yeah. So you can call him for bookings for everything and all those sort of things.
In terms of I don't want to joke on that, but no, talking about Marvin, I'm probably going to talk about the squad. I think that's probably the biggest thing why we're successful, I think, is that all 33 players, you know, we can only select 23 to play, and as you guys know, we went with a 5-3 split with a guy like Mani and Kobus starting in the quarterfinal against France, and then they started again in the semi-final against England, and then for the final we decided our tactic, rightly or wrongly, obviously rightly now because it worked out well. We went with a 7-1 split, which meant that they had to fall out, you know, and yes, and their hearts obviously is broken. Everybody wants to play in the final. But I can promise you, and I'll get to Marvin now, when we had our training session that Monday, so the team was announced on Monday morning, when we trained that Monday afternoon, Kobus was the best version of Aaron Smith and Mani was the best version of Richie Mwanga. Studied their mannerisms, their profiles, and that's probably the beauty of this team. You know, they get over it, and then they have to fulfill another role. In the previous 2 games, their role was to start and to lead the team to victory. In the last game, their role was to be the opposition, and that's Marvin. You know, Marvin I think played 1.5 games, but Marvin was Mario Toje. He worked even up for that one, and so Marvin was brilliant. He just fulfilled his role. He knew if there was an injury, he would have been straight in, did the hard work, and then lastly, the squad of 33 players, the wives and the partners. You know, when you have the wives and partners and a guy like Kobus or a guy like Mani doesn't get selected or a guy like Marvin doesn't get selected, it's easy that the partners can become envious, you know, because their husbands aren't selected. But it never happened, you know, and they pick up the pieces, the partners, the wives and the partners and the kids, they pick up the pieces when they don't get selected. And they don't become envious, and he was never a riff and never a tiff. And the wives who didn't, whose husbands weren't selected, was the one leading the parties, helping, making it fun. So no, I think that's probably the strength of this group. It's an unbelievable group of people.
Jacques, sorry, I think you've been asked this question a couple of times before the start of that final week. Just from a personal level, I know you've been in the system for quite a long time. You spoke about 2013 coming into the institute and learning about new players like Sia and everybody that's involved in this squad. But personally, from your point of view, how has this group of players grown, and as you move forward, what kind of legacy do you think that this group of players will leave from a South African rugby point of view? having known them from probably when they were 17, 18, 19 years old?
Yeah, I think that's probably, yes, that's an unbelievable privilege that I've had. How old are you now, Sia? 32, and we started working. How long have we been working together?
18.
So, I mean, I've got really good skill.
14.
Okay, 14 years. So, we've been working together, myself, even Chesy maybe a year later. I think Chesy, you were a year behind him. Oxy maybe a little bit later from Matiesli. But the point I'm trying to make is, let's say we worked 14 years together and he's 32. We've probably been, it sounds long, 14 years, but it's more than a third of Sia's life. And that's probably the fortunate thing that I had, being involved with this group for such a long time at different levels, from school level. So I knew them from naughty, when they were naughty and they were at varsity and when we all were naughty, till now they are husbands, they are fathers, they are unbelievable with their kids and unbelievable family men. And what legacy will they leave? You know what, they didn't change. See, the Sia that I met when he was 18 is still the Sia that he is now, and the Cheslin that I met when he played fullback. That is, we had a mean back three in that under 19 group. A lot of them went on to play sevens, Justin Verbilt, and those boys, they could step. So he's never changed. Fame never got to them. They never became entitled. So I think that's the legacy they will leave. You know, title. I think when you become a Springbok, you can be. I'm going to use them. You can be even. There's even the person and there's even the Springbok rugby player. And they never became the title. Does it make sense? Sia never became Sia, the Springbok captain. He always stayed Sia. And I think that's the beauty of this group. They never became the title. They just stayed the person. And that's the beautiful thing from them.
Z, can I ask Ox, Cheslin and Eben to come in front, please?
They're coming after.
They're coming after you.
I want
But they can come now.
Okay.
They can come now.
Yeah.
Come now.
You want them to sit up?
Yeah, make it bigger. Make the circle bigger. Bring 2 chairs.
No, they can sit here.
So, Minister,
So lonely there.
Minister, some stage I just want you to be at the top level as well, Minister. We still got a question or two for you.
There's enough. Oh, sorry.
Guys, can I just ask actually on that note, I think the important thing is to get the players and Jock back to the hotel as soon as possible. Could I ask that we do this side of the media conference first, and then we let them go to the hotel? They've been flying for ages, they've been away for ages, and then we can actually have the Minister and Mark on the table for any further questions. Would that be alright?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. It seems like I'm going to have to take my go and ask my questions. See, let me start with you. A question we need to talk about openly as well is the fact that you are starting. Firstly, congratulations, guys. The medals is very nice on you guys.
Thank you, President.
A question, an issue we need to talk about openly as well is the fact that you are starting a new journey now after this. I know you want to celebrate with your country now at the moment. You're starting a new journey going back to France. How are you seeing this new journey with Racing 92? And how has that changed the dynamics with you still being available for the national side in your capacity as a captain? My second part, Chisholm, on a lighter note, it was a historic moment when Sia Kolisi hoisted that trophy. A historic moment when you were fighting with the flag. So can you just ask these leaders what you're
I think let's go there.
En maar in Afrikaans vanaf ons speeltalige land weet korter, is dit hoe jy jou loopbaan afgesluit het, meneer? Is dit die beste manier om jou loopbaan af te sluit? Praat eens oor jou journey wat jy gegaan het. En iemand jou gevra die legacy wat jy agtergelaat. Hoe dink jy moet die succession plan wees nou vir SA Rugby, veral vir die Springbokke, meneer? Thank you so much.
You start.
Chesy.
Just hello my voice. Good morning to everyone. Honestly, so first of all, you just said fighting with a South African flag, man. I'm not in the photo part. I'll take that. Wearing that flag, having it on your chest. it's the world. For us as players, we represent each and every South African wherever we go. So, yeah, I've had a fight with a flag around my face, but that's the love of South Africa. So, thank you so much.
No, you were fighting for your life. You're making it very. No, we were laughing the whole time. They sent a video in the group, but he's the best part about he's still celebrating. Personally, I think for me, nothing will change. I mean, I'm still gonna be out for selection. I really want to play and continue to play. And about being captain, I don't know what's going to be. I'm not the coach. What matters to me the most, as long as I can put on the Springbok jersey, doesn't matter whether I'm a captain or not. That's not the most important. Because if I'd say to you that I dreamt of being the Springbok captain, I'll be lying to you. So as long as I'm available for selection and I get selected, that's all I care about. But I am looking forward to the new journey, and yeah, hopefully it goes well. But for now, we just want to enjoy being home, enjoy being double world champions back to back.
You must get used to the croissants. I was it pop and balls on.
Dus mij is een Afrikaans. In termen van mij, eerstens, ik denk, ik begin met die succession planning. Dit zal obviously los vir Mark en vir Assie en vir die leiergroep. Ek kan jou beloof dit sal intens wees. Ons sal hierdie periode nou tot die einde van die jaar sal daar 'n goeie oorhandiging wees en intellectuele property sal gedeel word en as daar 'n goeie review wees. Dis wat net hoe deeglik hulle is en ek weet hulle sal die regte planne maak, maar wat daai planne is, ek bedoel, ek dink nie dis vir my om te weet nie. Hulle sal die regte planne maak, dit beloof ek jou. En dan in terme van jy weet, ek in 2011 was ek gelukkig om 7 weke by 7 toetse saam met die bokke te wees, jy weet, en ek het toch gaan nooit weer betrokken raak nie, en toen in 2016 toes ek vir 3 toetse teen Ierland maar toe ek klaar geteken by Munster en toe ek daar weg is, dink ek, okay, dit is 10 toetse, yes, maar dit was ongelooflike 10 toetse saam met die bokke. Dit is ongelooflike span om deel van te wees. So, en nou is ek weer, en baie mense dink, dis die einde, maar die ene wat ek geleer het, die lewe, ons beplan ons lewens en ons dink, yes, ek wil oor 'n jaar daar wees, en oor 'n jaar daar wees, en oor 'n jaar daar wees, maar weet jy, die lewe het sy eie planne met jou. So, vir nou is dit die einde, vir nou met hierdie groep, maar of die einde is, vir my saam met die bokke, dit kan niemand sê nie. Ek sal enige tyd weer wil terugkom, ek moet goed genoeg wees, ek moet relevant wees, die spelers wil jou daar hê, die mense moet jou daar wil hê, en as dit dan die geval is, en dit gebeur weer, het sal ongelooflik wees.
Ons die kant.
Okay, I have a few questions. Firstly, to you, Coach. I just want to check, going back to the issue of money, was it the most difficult decision you had to take as a coach, leaving him out of the final? And to see, I don't know if you have applied your mind properly on this, and I know a lot of things has been happening over the last few days. But they always say that a good dancer knows when to leave the stage. I'm talking about not as a player, but as a captain. Have you applied your mind of maybe saying you can step away from the captaincy and give somebody your leadership to take over, looking at the new cycle of the 4 years going to the next World Cup, if you have you or if you not? And to Cheslin, what went through your mind during those last few minutes? Most of us, we felt sorry for you because it was a very tense situation. And to you and Ox, we put along after the resolution.
John, how are you feeling?
I'm happy. Get a wheel of money. So taking it in, Mara, good luck at you, that's all I have to say.
Probably in the walk with.
Yeah, was it a tough decision to leave Mali out? Yes, it breaks your heart as a coach. It's probably for me, from moving from assistant coach to head coach, that is the worst part of the job. Is to tell players that you are not selected. And Mani is definitely, and I can't say it will be the next coach that will decide that, but I believe he has the ability to be the future. If you think about how excellent he was, I think him and Damian Willemse, since Andre got injured in Adelaide, it's a long time ago now, it was 2022, I think, third game in Rugby Championship. The next week we played Australia in Sydney. We haven't won there in 27 years, and Damian Willemse is the fly-off, and he led us. Not that it's him alone; it's a team effort. But I mean, we for the first time in 27 years, the late Ian McIntosh team last won a game there. They won in Sydney, so that's the. And then from then on, obviously we had a hiccup against Ireland, and then against France with a red card, and from then on, yes, between Damian Willemse and Mani as fly-offs, they were phenomenal. And the discussions that we had in the final they obviously lost out, not because they weren't good enough. They lost out because we believed that a 7-1 split was the way to go to neutralise New Zealand. So whenever we do team selection, there's a lot of things we look at. We look at GPS stats. We look at how much minutes they played. We look at for interest sake, the semi-final, the quarter-final against France. I mean, Kobus Reinach plays against the Pont often. If you look at the semi-final against England, the scrum half that plays for England comes from Northampton Saints, where Kobus applied his trade. That he was a youngster in the academy, so obviously Kobus knew him very well and was almost his senior. So there's a lot of factors that we calculate whenever we do a selection. And the analysis we did on New Zealand, we believe that a 7-1 was the way to go, and unfortunately they had to stay out. But like I said, they took it like men, and no egos. And yes, they were heartbroken. They should be, because it's such an honour to play, and they were good enough to play in the World Cup final, as was Andre Esterhuizen, as was Canan Moodie. If you think how they played against New Zealand the previous time, we've given New Zealand the biggest score margin in the history between South Africa and New Zealand, and Canan Moodie and Andre Esterhuizen was the 12 and the 13. So they also deserved. I think that's the beauty of the squad. Everybody was good enough from a performance level to play. But unfortunately, that is the way we made decisions, and the players, like we mentioned numerous times, the players are big enough to take it like that.
Guys, we only have time for 2 more questions.
No, we have to answer questions.
No, just
answering now.
obviously getting a yellow card was disappointing, and you drop the whole team, you drop our whole country in minutes like that in the final. So yes, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the last few minutes of the game. I've seen a few videos of it now, but honestly, God did it last time. Just grateful to be sitting here and having the Rebels in South Africa. So
Question over there, then we have
to answer.
Yeah, you answer.
No, honestly, I haven't thought about that. I think the most important, most urgent, obviously, has been the World Cup, and I said earlier, being Springbok captain obviously is huge, especially for the country. But for us, I've only got a small role to play within the team. I've got Yemen, I've got Dwayne, I've got all this, and we're all leaders in that group. We're all in charge of a part of the game. I think whoever is Springbok captain is always going to have the most support, and they will fit in like a club. It's all about what you do and while you're there. But it doesn't. As long as I can put on the Springbok jersey, I'm happy.
Could I please ask guys, those that are asking questions, the 2 questions left, could we restrict it to 1 question each, please, so that we can get Mark and the Minister up, because we are running out of time.
Jacques, yeah, in front. Just how difficult is it, walking away from this team at a moment like this? But also on the flip side, how important is it to walk away when you are on the up and the nation isn't turning against you because results are not going your way?
I just say, I don't think I'm walking away. I'll never walk away from the Springboks. The Springboks have given me everything, and in the Springboks, I'll say, other the players. I'm not a very emotional guy, but I would have been a physio in Bloemfontein if senior leaders like our president, Mr. Alexander Rassi, you need people to back you, to believe in you. And I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in that conversation where Rassi said, listen guys, I think this physio defense coach is good enough to be a head coach, and he hasn't been a head coach before, but I think he's good enough. So first of all, you need people that believe in you. Then you need people that surround you. There's a lot of things that I'm not good at. So in terms of our management, that full where I'm not good at, they just step up and they fulfill their role. And then the players are, coaches are nothing without players. Players are the people that sacrifice, that do their shoulders, that Sia did his knee, and you ask him to do that. So I think it's nice for me the fact that that I'm moving on to a next chapter, and only a next chapter for a couple of years. And like I mentioned, nobody knows how it's going to go forward. Life has its own way how he deals with it, and the road that he puts you on. Or destiny does. But hopefully, we'll never know. Hopefully, I'll be back. But yes, again, the players make you nothing. Coaches are nothing without players. They are everything.
Thank you to the world champions. I just want to say thank you for defending the Rugby World Cup Championship and giving us all the bragging rights for the next 4 years against all of those other fans. I'd just like to know, from the players' side especially, gentlemen, do you think you can do it again and complete the treble in defense of the World Cup?
Yes.
That wraps up the questions over here, guys, but before we do, because I think you'll enjoy this one, Evan, tell us about your haircut.
Yeah, so it was about 5 weeks ago. I think me and Archie Snyman spoke on the bus, and I just said if we win the World Cup, I'll cut my hair the same as yours. And obviously after the win in the final, it was about 4:30 in the morning. And the last time I drank water was in the game. So we weren't drinking water, and he just reminded me of my bed, and obviously I wanted to be a man of my word, and I've been winning this cup. These guys, I'll do anything. So, I decided to cut my hair. And he sat me down and gave me the rest to cut my hair. And I've gotten a few compliments, from all my friends. My wife also says it's not too bad. So, as long as she's happy, I'm happy.
Sorry, just on it's not a more of a sensitive note. I don't know if you guys have seen, but after the game, there was a video that went out on TikTok about Jody Barrett, that somebody thinks he didn't shake the president's hand, and he's been getting a lot of bad media, or people are like being hard on him. But obviously he's going through. It's tough losing a World Cup final, and obviously getting that kind of negative media is not good. And I know him personally as someone that I know very well. He's not that kind of person. The video was taken probably after he shook the hand. He obviously shook the president's hand. And we just want to say, we the South African team have spoke to Coach Jacques about it. We are fully behind him. We respect New Zealand a lot. They respect us a lot. So please just give him a slack. Let's just celebrate. There's nothing worse than losing a game and then also being on media, getting all these kind of messages. So it's really been tough for him and obviously the team and his family, but as a South African team, we're all behind them. Yeah, so yeah, please, if you can, he did shake the president's hand. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you, Jay.
sorry, the last one. Obviously, the Proteas are in India and they are making us proud. They are fighting as hard as you can. They've been sending us messages of support to Temba and the team. I just want to actually encourage the country. Please do get behind them as much as you have behind us. They really do deserve our support, and they've been showing why they deserve our support. They're going to do something that's never been done before, so we're going to have to support them like we've never done it before. And honestly, I don't need to tell you how well they play, because you can see. So please, let's get behind them, and we hope we've given them a little bit of support, of inspiration to go through this. Imagine a World Cup winning team and the Proteas also do it. So yeah, Temba and the team, we're all behind you. We love you and we appreciate you.
We'll get to your panel. I'd like to call the Minister and Margaret's honor to please come up to the top table now.
Minister, he just arrived.